Hey, welcome. Good morning to you. It's 6 a.m. at the Golden Gate Bridge. We are here live, and I'm here talking to you today about this. And what I'm really looking for is, and I got a little delay here, so I'm looking for one of my partners to just give me a thumbs up that we've got a broadcast. You can't see me, but you can see the bridge. And by the time we're done with this meeting, we'll have watched the sunrise from this epic location here at the Golden Gate Bridge. Hey, why are we here at the Golden Gate Bridge? And still looking to see that I've got that sound check working for me there. You guys can see my broadcast. One of those buddies who are watching, give me a thumbs up in those messages like we had talked about. And man, I'm going to get started. Isn't it great here? I'm going to tell you what, before I get started, what I want to let you know is that right across the bay over there is the Oakland Bay Bridge. And you might be able to see the lights of that. What you can't see is that those lights make a pattern. They're LED lights. It's a real beautiful sight to see here. There's the brand new bridge over there too, the first single tower, single cable suspension bridge built right over there just a few years ago. And of course, right here, the Golden Gate Bridge. The reason I am here to tell you about this event. So if, yeah, I got some thumbs up here, so I'm going to pretend that we are good to go. And let's see what happens here. Okay, so first off, welcome to the Golden Gate Bridge. Welcome to 6 a.m. Welcome to sunrise. What you can't see right now, what I want you to do is I want you to be here soon someday. And I want you to come with me and watch the sunrise here. Why did I pick this place? Well, you know, in 1981, I came here at 6 a.m. for the first time. I thought I was crazy. And I thought the people who asked me to come here were crazy as well. They kind of were. I'm not going to call them crazy as much as these people were maniacs with a mission. Okay, people who really believed that one person can make a difference, and it starts with one, and it starts with one person telling a story. The Golden Gate Bridge. Why the Golden Gate Bridge? Well, you know, let's see. It was about 80 years ago that they a little over 80 years ago that they started broadcasting here at the bridge. Hang on a second. I'm going to just check this one more time. So 6 a.m. here at the bridge. Why the bridge? So Joseph Strauss was this excellent person who had this massive vision about building bridges. In fact, he had this dream, and his college thesis paper was about building a bridge across the Bering Strait. He had this idea of building this bridge here. In fact, it was in the late 1800s that they first started proposing this bridge. It was in 1913, Joseph Strauss proposed his idea for this bridge in a contest that was run by the Sacramento Chronicle. From 1913, for the next 15 years, Joseph Strauss had to do an amazing amount of negotiating with some very powerful people who did not want him to succeed. The first opposition was the War Department, who this was a strategic, and they did not want the bridge to obstruct or create a possibility where in a wartime situation that the bridge would be a hazard. So the War Department, who owned the strait at the time, did not want to have this bridge built. Ansel Adams and the Sierra Club were very vocal about not building this bridge. In fact, there's a great program, picture that you can find online that Ansel Adams took the day before they started construction on the bridge. It was his way of memorializing this story before the building of the bridge. And you know who else really didn't want it to happen? And this is where economics come in. You know, the Sierra Pacific Railroad owned ferries. Right down here is a little a pier where you could come down here, drive your car from the north end of the bay, come here, get on a ferry to get across the bay. That was the only way, unless you want to go 250 miles around the bay to get to the other side. And so they had a monopoly on transportation across the bridge, and they did not want to have the Golden Gate Bridge built. But Joseph Strauss had a vision, and it was about connecting two different people. It was about connecting this side of the bridge with that side of the bridge. This side of the bridge had not been developed yet. That side of the bridge is a booming community after the gold rush. Big town, big port, and it's a very important place. And what they wanted to do is connect these people together. And it was really a joint effort. Joseph Strauss was not the only person. It took a lot of people on the north side, as well as in San Francisco, to work with the politicians, work with the community to create a mindset within the people that it was okay to build this bridge. Now, he got agreement, but he did not. What you don't really understand yet, and I'm going to tell you right now, is how amazing the structure of that bridge is. Because when they built this bridge at the time, this span was farther than anyone had ever attempted. It was higher above the surface of the earth than anyone had ever attempted. In fact, those towers right there were the tallest structure this side of the Mississippi at the time they were built. They remained the tallest structure this side of the Mississippi until 1963, when the Transamerica building, which is just, I wish you were here to see how awesome the sun is just starting to color. In fact, I'm going to turn you guys over there a little bit. Hopefully you can get a little glimpse of what that sunrise is like over there. And I want you to take a look and see. Man, this is great. I wish you were here. I wish you were here. In fact, I want you to be here with me in the future when we do some more of these events, because that's really what we're talking about here at the future. Now, this bridge, it was the impossible. It was the impossible made possible by any person that really dreamed about it and talked about it. Because see, it was not just, it was Joseph Strauss' vision, but it was a community that believed in it. And it was that community effort that actually made it possible. But Joseph Strauss told the story, and he's told it many times. In fact, you know, there is these cables are really the part that is so amazing to what happened. Now, this bridge was built under budget and ahead of deadline. And the technology that made that happen was not possible at the time the bridge was built. When they started the bridge, that just was not possible. And so the, hold on a second. Okay, so the bridge was built there on purpose by these people. And you know what's so great? So here we got these cables, right? And they're 11,000 tons each. And there's no way that you could put those up as one piece of equipment. And so one single strand. And so what they did is they laid a single strand. And at the time, the technology said one strand next to another, next to another, next to another. And they ran, and you might have seen the pictures of them running a wheel across the bay back and forth, laying one wire at a time. Innovation came in place, and they tried 2 wires and then 4 wires. And by the time that they stopped, they were running 6 wires at a time across the bay, an innovation that had never happened. That simple innovation of, instead of doing it 1 by 1, but 2 by 2, then 4, and then 6 together at the same time, laying them down together, made this bridge come in on time and under budget. But here's the part that's so amazing. Those cables are 3 feet around in diameter. Okay, I mean 3 feet in diameter, those cables. And here's the thing, 27,572 individual strands of wire that are pencil thin strands of wire are laid next to each other, side by side, bound together and compressed. And that is what gives the bridge its strength, is actually those 27,572 individual strands of wire carry the whole load of that bridge. The billions of over a billion cars have crossed this bridge since it has been built. And this is the best part about it. It's flexible, right? The 27,000 572 individual strands bound together are make this bridge flexible. In fact, the top of the bridge will sway side to side, 4 feet either way. The center span will sway to side, either way, 16 feet. In high winds, this bridge actually moves. In fact, it's been closed twice because of high winds. And I drove on it one of the days in the 1980s that it was closed due to the high winds. And when I had come right out past the cliff here on the right, that you might just be able to see just to the right of the bridge, there's a little cliff. As I passed that cliff, the wind was coming so hard that I felt like I hit a pole. And when I crossed underneath that first tower there and I looked at the bridge in front of me, it was swaying. In fact, the lane that was next to me was directly ahead of me at the center of the bridge. And I was really kind of too young to realize that that was a scary time. They closed the bridge that day out of fear of a catastrophic failure. There was one other time that they had a fear of a catastrophic failure, and that was the day of the 50th anniversary of the bridge, where they opened up this bridge. They closed it down to vehicle traffic and opened it up to foot traffic. And there was so much weight on that bridge. Basically what happened was there was 2 masses of humanity starting on either side of the bridge. They met in the middle and they kept compacting. The weight was so, there was so much weight on the bridge where you can actually see this small little hump going over the bridge right here. This little hump was flat. It had flattened out. The cables of the bridge, the suspension cables that hold the bridge up, the ones that come down from the main cables, those had been pulled so tight that they were humming and actually harmonically vibrating. And there was actual fear from the people who run the bridge of a catastrophic failure that day. In fact, one of the most scariest opportunities where that bridge failed. But I want to talk to you a little bit about why that bridge didn't fail. Because see, Joseph Strauss had this vision of building this bridge, and he was the visionary. If you go look on the event page I've got on Facebook, you can see the picture of his original design, and it was ugly. You know, visions change, they mold, they manifest, and it takes a team of people to do that. There is a guy, it was Ellis. Charles Ellis was the principal engineer for this. He did all of the calculations for this bridge under great pressure by Strauss to finish. He did not want to finish. He wanted to make sure that this bridge worked and it was complete. Almost 80 years later, it's still standing here, and all these calculations were done by hand by Charles Ellis, and he was the engineer that created it. Irving Morrow did the light design on all of this, and this whole thing was created by a group of people. And once they got permission to try and span this amazing space here, then they had to find the people to do it. Now, at the time that they built this bridge, it was the Depression. A lot of people wanted work. They were looking very hard for work. This was not an easy job to do. And in fact, many people came out here, tried to do the work, but was so high, so windy, so wet, so scary. And when you consider at the time that for every $1 million spent on a bridge, 1 life was also spent to build that bridge, and this bridge should have lost 36 lives. And so imagine if you were out here, coming out here to try and get a job out here, and wonder if you might be one of those 36 lives that might have been lost in the building of this bridge. It was only, Strauss was the first guy to build a safety net below this thing. And other than the safety net failing one time, many men fell into the net who called the Halfway to Hell Club, who were saved by those nets. And unfortunately, only 13 people died in that one accident that happened. I want you to know that haunted Strauss to his death. He really felt about that event, really struck him, because his goal was to do this without any loss of life. And there was these guys, these riveters, right, who'd put in this bridge 1 rivet at a time, right? There were these guys that were laying these strands 1, 2, 3, 4 by 4 at a time. It was an amazing feat for these people to do. An amazing bridge now built. And it connects us. It connects us across the world. You know, this bridge and the location is so beautiful. People come from all over the world to see this bridge. And you know, they come for a lot of different reasons. And I've been coming to this bridge. I've come here over 50 times and done meetings here at 6 a.m. And I want to tell you about one that I did back in the 80s. We came here just like always, I got here at 4 a.m. just like I did today, set up all my equipment. There was someone sitting in the car, and I thought it was one of the people who came here to help me set up. And so I went over there and said good morning, offered her some coffee. I said, she said no. I said, I asked her if she was here to help, and she said no, she wasn't here to help. And I said, all right, well, then I went on my way, and the people who came to help came. We had our meeting, bunch of people. And this lady was only like 3 cars away from the back of my van where we had our sound system set up. And we had our meeting, and we talked about making a difference in the world. We talked about doing the impossible, about creating impossible things and making them possible out of our determination, out of the fact that we do make a difference. And I can't imagine the serendipity of that event was for this lady, because when our event was over, she came up to me as I was packing up the sound system and asked me if I was the person who had been speaking at the event. And I said no, and I directed her to my friend who was standing right next to me, Jack, who had done that event. And what she shared with us then made me realize that we do make a difference. She had come that morning to jump. She got here at 3 a.m., came here, but the gates were closed. She couldn't get out on the sidewalk. And so she was here waiting to jump. And into her despair walked a large group of people who are passionate about a vision to make a difference in the world. And while she was sitting here waiting to jump, she got to listen to us talk about we do matter, we do make a difference, our voice counts, and there are important things for us to do in the world. She didn't jump that day. That is why it's so important that you make a contribution with the message that you have. And that's why I came here today. That's why I'm here this morning, sunrise. Okay, I gotta hook you guys up over here because it's just pretty amazing. That sun is going to be coming up over there. You can start to see the bridge. I'm starting to get a little light here. And why am I doing this? Because here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn my camera over here, and I want you to look across over there. That's San Francisco. There's a bunch of twinkling lights over there. 1 million people. Over on the other side, way over there, is the East Bay, Oakland, Berkeley, Hayward. You can see all of that from this point right here. And all of those people are burning fossil fuels. All of those lights that you see, what you can't see from here is that the lights are twinkling. And the reason they're twinkling is because of the heat that we are producing over there so that we can light our beautiful city, right? I mean, Journey did the song, "A City by the Bay," when the lights go down in the city. This is, it's an amazing place. And this view is amazing. And all of those people over there are burning fossil fuels. And you know what? It's beautiful, except for that we're dumping CO2 in the atmosphere at alarming rates that we really can't sustain. And why sunrise, right? Because the sun is about to come up. And when the sun comes up, it is going to put on us in 15 minutes enough energy to light the planet for a year, to produce all of the energy we need. 15 minutes. By the time I finish this presentation, from now till the end, enough energy will have come down on top of the earth to power the planet for a year. And we're not taking advantage of it. We're not doing our part. That's the bridge to the future that I'm talking about. See, because when I came here for all these other times, we were talking about your personal responsibility, your personal accountability, having people transform their lives from mediocre to magnificent, from mundane to something that makes a difference in the world. You are a difference maker, whether you know it or not, whether you're participating or not, whether you realize it or not. Your actions today make a difference. Good, bad, right, wrong, or indifferent. You matter. That's it. And why am I telling you that here today at the bridge? Because we need you. See, if you are paying any attention, you know that CO2 in the atmosphere is causing problems. Whether or not you believe in climate change or not, we all like to breathe clean air. And I live in the mountains, I breathe clean air. I've been to LA, I can tell the difference. There is a major difference in air quality in regards to CO2. If you believe 97% of the scientists who say that if we continue at the rate we continue and burn all of fossil fuels that we know about, we will reach catastrophic climate change. It's not going to happen in my lifetime, so why do I care? Well, I have grandchildren, and I have children, and I'm going to have great-grandchildren. I live in the mountains where I can take you to a spring where the water is coming out of the ground, and it is the purest water you'll ever taste in the world. It's better than you can get in any bottled water. And it's so pure, there's only one thing in there that is a little alarming, and that's mercury. And the reason that there's mercury in there is because 150 years ago in the gold rush, some miners went up on Mount Lassen and mined for gold with mercury. And they affected the water table forever. Unintended consequences to make a profit. Well, we have unintended consequences that are making a profit. Our profits are, and we spent $700 billion looking for more oil that we really can't even burn if we care about our future and the future of our families. We subsidize oil to the tune of, globally, to the tune of $10 million a minute to find the energy to light up this bridge, to light up this city by the bay, and it's going to come down on us in just a few minutes. In just a few minutes. Gosh, I wish you guys were here. I wish you're here to see how amazing this space is to watch this sunrise. People are coming here. They've been here. When I got here at 4 o'clock, there were people here. They have been people here all the time. Actually, one of the reasons 6 a.m. is because after now, it'll be so crowded here that it would be too noisy for me to do this presentation. But here it is. That's the sun. That's the future. And what we need to do is we need to build a bridge from this dark, dirty energy that we're living in right now to that clean energy that's about to come over the horizon. And that's what our business model is right here. I want you to understand that. Just over the horizon is a brand new business model that we're not only going to start collecting that energy, we're going to transform the way that people produce and consume energy on the planet. It's essential that we do that. It's essential that it happens, and that it happens right now. We cannot wait any longer. I'm not sure if you are waiting or not, but my question to you is, when will you get started? And you know, what we really need to do is ask you to get started today, to convert to the clean energy grid. Why do we want to convert to the clean energy grid? Well, I think I've spelled it out for you. We have a future, and we have an opportunity to make intended consequences on the future by transforming the way we produce and consume energy. Hey, our model right now starts by capturing that sun and turning it into energy and using that energy to power our lives. We're going to then expand into storing that energy. And then we're going to change the way that we drive around on this planet. Do you know that 81% of electricity generated in Germany last year was generated by solar? They're quite frankly leading the way, and it's time for the United States to lead the way. It's time for you to lead the way, for you to become a part of, not only become a part of the clean energy grid, but what I'm asking you to do is become a part of the mission. Become a part of the mission and the vision of this group of people who are committed to changing the way that we produce and consume energy on the planet. There are a lot of business models out there. I've got businesses, but you know what? If we don't bring a solution to the challenge of climate change on this planet, those other business models really don't matter, do they? Yes, I want to build a financial future for my family, but if we don't solve the climate change problem, what future is there going to be? Like I said, we're not going to run out of oil in my time. We are not going to run out of sunlight in anybody's time. And so, which would be a better option for us? This clean energy or the dirty energy that we've become accustomed? I mean, you even heard the guy pulling up here in the car, right? One of those old cars, getting about 10 miles to the gallon on that old muscle car, right? Back when we had plenty of oil and it was real cheap and all of that, but we had some unintended consequences. It's time now for me, you, to do something different. It's time now because we know the solution is here. The only thing that is stopping us is willpower and action. And that's what I want to ask you. Do you have the will to take action, to join us today in this opportunity, this new beginning? This is the electrical revolution. And we're looking for a team of people who want to lead the charge, who want to take this mission, this vision of a clean energy grid, of a future powered by light, bring that to the planet, and transform the way we produce and consume energy. Listen what it's going to do. This is my idea of that. 3 years from now, on your roof, the sun's going to come up and it's going to start producing. Right now, about right now, all these homes that do have solar are going to start producing electricity on their roof. And they're going to feed it to the grid. That electricity is going to charge batteries in their homes. It's going to charge their cars. They're going to drive to work in that car, and that battery, those solar panels on their roof are going to backfeed the grid and charge the restaurant down the street. And maybe the solar panels or panel system that we have, the clean energy grid, will be charging that electric car. And then you'll come home and your smart refrigerator will know that your pattern is not to be home all day. So it's operated, understanding your patterns, and become smart about understanding you and how you consume the energy, and then operating in such a way that it uses less. But when we can produce clean, abundant energy at the point of use, on your roof, stored in your home, well, then where else could we bring energy? We can start right here in the United States, but there will never be an electric grid in the middle of the Sahara. But we can put a small point of use power production plant with some solar panels, some battery storage, and we can bring light to places that will never see it with our current model of thing. Well, we can have, and now check this out. This is the part that just fires me up. And so look, when we spend a lot of time and energy digging a hole in the ground, sucking oil out of it, and then putting it back in the ground so we can suck it out again and put it in your car so that in an instant you can burn it. And we have to do that process all over again. When we get done building a clean energy grid, it's going to be producing and consuming. It's going to be producing energy for 20 years, and we won't have to build it again. And it's going to still produce. And that energy we need will be produced and produced and produced from the human effort that's done now as we build the grid. And 20 years after that, that grid will still be producing, but we won't be putting our effort there. So then, if we weren't spending $700 billion last year looking for oil that we can't burn, if we weren't spending $10 million globally a minute to subsidize the oil industry, what kind of things do you think we could do as a planet? What kind of things do you think we could do as humanity? What kind of innovation and technology do you think would be available when we have unlimited clean power to power our planet, to power our life? Look, down below is going to be a link. It's going to be posted there shortly. It's power.com/preview. I want you to go to that link. I want you to find out how we are going to transform the way that we produce and consume energy on the planet. And I want you to join us. I want you to join us now. You know, resistance is futile. You will be assimilated to the clean energy grid. There is no doubt about that. The only question is when. And then the other question is, are you going to be a leader, or are you going to be a follower in this movement, this electrical revolution to the solar energy grid? Hey, we need you on the team. So there's a few ways that you can join us. One, you know, convert your home right now. If you're a homeowner and you have not looked at solar as an opportunity for you and your home to save money right now and save our future as you produce clean energy on your own roof, then what you need to do is you need to find out from one of our partners, either the person who brought you here. You can text me at 415-DAN-HAR and let me know that you are interested in getting a proposal for a solar system on your roof that may just cost you nothing down and start saving you money immediately, not to mention transforming the way that that energy is produced. It'll be produced clean energy on your planet. Hey, the second way that you can help us is you can join our partners join us as a partner. Become a partner with us in creating this clean energy grid. It's going to happen. If you might be seeing it happen all the way around. The future, I mean, you know, let's talk about it, right? The next gold rush is the solar gold rush. It's a race to the rooftops. And we are going to lead that charge. In fact, in the next 10 years, we are going to put solar panels on 2 million homes. And in doing so, we're going to pay $1 billion to those partners who help us panel this planet. We want you to be a part of the team. Check out the link below and find out how you can become a partner. And you know, personally, from me to you, we need you in the grid. We need you to become aware. We need you to share, and we need you to take action. This sunrise is everything we ever want to have. It's all the power we're ever going to need. It's coming right down on the planet right now. You can join us in converting that energy to clean energy for you and I to do whatever we want, to power our lives and create amazing things in a future that I say is worth having. Clean energy future. Is it one that you say is worth having? Join me and I'll tell you how we can work together to make that happen faster. Have a great day. Look forward to having you become a partner with us as we transform the way we produce and consume energy on the planet. Take care. Bye.